come along with me as I make egusi using assorted meat, and it would be beef ribs, and I'm just going to be using shake or use or beef stomach intestines. I'm starting off with my beef ribs. It has some meat on them, adding ginger, some salt, and I'm gonna let that cook by itself. You're not going to add any water initially. You just want to let the salt and the ginger or the bay leaf kind of just do the little cooking by itself for about 20 minutes. Afterwards, you're going to go ahead and add your liquid. It could be hot water or warm water you're going to add, and then let that cook. If you love your meat to be super tender, then you're going to cook it for about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. If you like it to be a little rough, then 45 minutes should suffice. Now, this is the stinky part that I did not want any part of it. Nothing to do with it. But there's like, I think this is my first, if not my second time cleaning. Just recording this is disgusting me. Doing this voiceover is disgusting me. I had a glove. I was a whole mess, okay? I was discombobulated, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and clean the the stomach, the intestines of the beef, and the smell I can. Oh my goodness gracious, Lord have mercy. But yeah, it's very pungent, as you can see. Dirty, disgusting. You got the cow that's eating the grass and everything like that. So this is a whole cow that my family bought. So my mom, my sister and I, we split it. We do this like annually. We buy a big cow and we split it amongst the three of us households. So I'm trying to clean it as white as I can, like the one you see at Walmart and stuff. I did do my best. It wasn't like the whitest, but it was certainly much different than what I'm used to eating at home in my mom's house. Not that she doesn't wash it, but in a typical, like you can say, Somali household, the intestines are not like white like the one you see in at Walmart and other grocery stores. They're washed really thoroughly, and that's about it. It's gonna be brown as you see right now. So watch me clean them thoroughly multiple times and get this egusi assorted meat. There's no, I guess I don't have no crayfish. I don't have no like stockfish or anything like this. It's gonna be stomach, intestines, and halal. So hilib hilib loy feroshe. So loy ribs, okay? After cooking it. That's basically my thumbnail. But yeah, look at that. Yeah, guys. We're gonna clean that up really good, and then why is he touching it like that? The slimy, the texture just. Anyways, I see it over there. I am cleaning it as best as I can. Do you see that brown thing that's basically peeling off the skin of the tripe over there? Or then I guess that's the stomach lining, whatever that part of the intestine is. That is the part that I'm trying to remove to make it white. Now it doesn't become completely white, but it's very dang near close to being white. Look at it, okay? You see that? Yeah, I did my big one on that one. Now I saw this method on one of those like nature village cooking things. You see the difference. What they basically did was, and what I did, well, what they did was they boiled it, like parboiled it or blanch boiled this one when it was whole. This is cut up, so it makes it more tedious. We started this process at like 2:20, and I wasn't done until like 3:10, which was super super tedious. My back was aching super bad, but yeah, while the tripe or the intestines are whole, you go ahead and put it like in a big pot of boiling water, and then warm water, boiling water. Let it go ahead and like boil for a little bit. Then you're gonna pull it out, and it's gonna be super easy for the skin to peel off. For me, I put this in the microwave. It was already cut off, so that took away a lot of the time, the tedious work away from it. But the because it's individualized and it's like single, it was not cute, okay? But we got through it though. We got through it after like about damn near an hour of trying to make it perfect. It didn't come out perfect, but you get the gist of it. You see how that brown stuff, like the whole thing that they ate, was it's just peeling off. So it helps when you actually blanch cook it or whatever. Yeah, that's a tip that I learned in order to get it to remove all of that wasak, all of that dirt. This was a it was utterly disgusting. Like you see my hands, I was utterly disgusted. I'm like, let me just wear the gloves if it just so I don't feel all that slime and just I don't know what part of the intestine that is. Is that the stomach? Is it the anus? I don't know. It wasn't pretty, okay? It was not pretty whatsoever. Thank God I didn't feel the slime, because I know it's just look, why am I cleaning it like that? Anyways, but yeah, I got through it. That's why I had to wear the gloves. The gloves help without me needing to like just. Yeah, I wanted to take every slime. I think that's the anus. I don't know. Maybe that's the stomach. I'm not sure which part it is. But yeah, I'm gonna remove that because it's like it's fat, and then it had like grassy. It was green, so let's just remove that part of it. Wash it really well, and then later towards the end, I went ahead and cut this because it's a huge piece. Nobody's gonna eat this big piece like that. No, no, no. I think they should have some sort of a tool to kind of go ahead and remove that thing. I later tried using a knife, and it didn't feel like it was the right tool to use. So I stopped doing it. I tried the fork, and the fork wasn't appropriate. So I went ahead with my hand as I was doing it previously. So Just like with our beef that we made earlier to prepare our egusi assorted meat, I'm adding chicken bouillon in this one. I'm also adding the onion right there, a little bit of salt. We're gonna let this cook for like at least an hour. Okay, 2 hours. Say 2 hours, because I don't like my intestines to be like gamey and just gummy and just not. It needs to be thoroughly cooked, not stringy, not attached to my teeth or anything like that, and then my gums. I mean, so we let that cook. As you can see, it simmer down. You're gonna add a lot of water throughout this cooking. Of course, I forgot to record this section of it, but basically that red thing is palm oil, that's ginger garlic paste, onions, and whole ginger. I'm putting the lotus dried beans thingamajigger in there. I washed it. You're gonna let these cook for about a minute or 2 minutes before you add everything else. And this would be the perfect time to either add the egusi that you mixed earlier or after you put your assorted meat. It's called walak, to see like you're doing something when you're really not doing anything. And careful, the palm oil burns fast. That's what I noticed. Like every time that I use this oil, it seems to like burn like Zaid Guidas. I don't know, but anyways, maybe I'm just doing it wrong. But that's the palm oil. Now I'm gonna start adding the additional stuff. So I was going to make it that I say this CD. So that would be the scotch bonnet. You're also gonna add the tomato that you mixed and blended. You can also in this mixture add bell peppers. Okay, so in this mixture when you're blending it, make sure you blend it with bell peppers as well. Then you're gonna add your seasonings. Make sure you don't over season, because remember your use, your intestines, and your beef meat and your other meat, you might have already seasoned them, so you don't want it to be salty. So be sure to be calculative in your adding of the seasonings. I'm adding the uziza leaves over there. These are dried, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and mix it. I'm also going to be adding spinach on this mixture just to give it more greenery, just more flavor. And right now I'm adding the egusi mixture that we did earlier. And then it's kawala. Go ahead, the mixtures. Yeah, mix them together. As you're mixing it in a little bit, I'm gonna add the spinach. Once you add the spinach, then I went ahead and added my assorted meats. That would be the intestines, the cow intestines. That took us like a minute to clean. And then you're gonna go ahead and add your beef meat. I went ahead and added my beef meat, and I also added my use or cow intestines, stripes, and all of that stuff. Go ahead and give it a good mixture. Now you're gonna let it like soak in. You're gonna let it you don't want it to be too watery. You don't want your use to be too watery, so you let it simmer down a bit. You can add additional palm oil if you want, or you can leave it as is, just depending on. People generally back in Nigeria have it like oily and stuff and like fried down, you can say. When I say my house was beautifully scented, I say my house was beautifully scented. Araf is go, Grige. Hey! That day. And this is the end of our video. This is our Egusi. I made it with Ghanaian Banku. The Banku is super easy. Just follow the product instructions. You can find that at any of your local West African or African stores. They carry most of these brands, most of these products I used. So that's that. Until another cooking video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Yeah. Okay, that's the Banku, that's the Egusi, and that's the Egusi in the pot.